Hi guys, welcome to Tool Time with Texas Tiff, and today we're talking about air filters. In order to change an air filter, we're going to need to determine a couple of things. One, how many units does your home have? I'll show you an easy way to find that out. Then we need to find out where is the air handler, where the air filter is actually going to need to go in. We're going to look for those. And then we're going to need to decide what size air filter you need and what type is going to be best for you and your family. Let's get started. So the first thing we need to determine is how many units does your home have? The easiest way to do this is to just walk outside to the side of your home and look for the compressor that's on the side of the home. If you're in a smaller house, it's probably only going to have one. Some of your 2 stories or some of your larger homes could have 2. That'll tell you how many filters we're gonna need when we get to the store. Welcome to this beautiful new home that's under construction here in North Texas. So the next thing we need to find is, where is that air handler? The air handler is what's actually pulling the air through the house and through that air filter that's gonna purify the air as we go through. But we gotta find it to know where we can replace that filter. Now in these new build construction homes, at least in this area, I happen to know that they're usually going to be in the attic. Now, where is that attic access? Could be out in the garage, could be upstairs, could be in a lot of places. In this home, I happen to know it's out in the garage. Let's go check it out. Okay, so now that we're in the garage, let's find that attic access. Typically there's gonna be a string on this door that you would pull down. Since we're under construction, that's not there yet. But then we're gonna pull this ladder down. Now sometimes they may not have a ladder, you may actually have to get a ladder of your own. Try not to whack your head. There we go. Wow, this one's actually really nice too. Sometimes these are pretty wooden and janky and a little scary. All right. So we're gonna climb up inside and we wanna find out where that air handler is, and we're gonna pull out the filter that's in there. That's actually the easiest way to find the size of the air filter that we're gonna need. Let's go check it out. So we are up in the attic. Couple of safety tips really quick anytime you're in your attic. See this lovely, fluffy, fun pink stuff here? It looks like super soft. Don't step in it and try not to touch it if you can avoid it. Typically they have fiberglass in them. I know some are doing it a little differently now, but there's also no subfloor under this. So if you want to get downstairs very quickly and find yourself in the ER, just step right off in that. You'll put a hole in your ceiling and hurt yourself in the process. Not that I've ever done that. So when you're up in an attic, you wanna make sure you stay on the subfloor where they've put wood down. Now we are ready to look at our air handler. So we found our air handler. Like I said, this house only has 1 unit, so we only happen to find the 1 location. This one's a little tricky because it's hidden, so you might have to do a little poking around. But we did finally discover this little door right here is where our air filter is gonna go. So now that we've pulled this thing out, what we're looking for is we wanna look for the size of the filter. So that's the next thing we need to know. This one is a 16 by 25 by 1. That's something we're gonna need to probably write down somewhere, stick it in your phone somewhere, because it's one of those things when you're at the store, you're gonna go, what size was that again? You don't wanna have to climb back up here. So now we've identified how many units we have, where that unit is located, and what size air filter we need. Now we need to go to the store and figure out which type of filter we wanna get. So let's head to the hardware store and find our new filter. We came to our local Ace Hardware. Let's go find our filter. Come on. Hey, look, air filters. So as you can see, we have tons to choose from. So how do you know which one you need? Well, remember I told you to put your size of your air filter somewhere in your phone, because you're inevitably gonna get to the store and not remember what size you needed. So I have mine in my phone. We're gonna look that up. But first I wanna talk to you just a little bit about the different types of air filters. So these are all the 1-inch ones, which you can use in lieu of the 4 or 5-inch ones. You just need to replace them more often. But if you look at the boxes, they'll have a number on them, 1000. And they also have a system on them, which is awesome too. Color-coded, if you're like my husband, you need things that are color-coded. I don't get that. Anyway, that'll kind of tell you the things that it's going to help pull out. The higher the number, the more allergens and things that it's gonna pull out. It's like this one's gonna cover bacteria and viruses as well. So if you've got kiddos or family members that have really bad allergies or asthma, or you just wanna keep your air super clear, it's really not that much more. I mean, we're looking at what, $6 or $7 for a basic one to $21 for a higher end one. Might be worth it to go ahead and get the higher end one. Okay, so we have found the filter that we need. Remember, we needed a 16 by 25 by 4 to fit up in that attic space. So it says on the box that they last up to 12 months. You don't want to wait 12 months to change these out. You really want to do this every season. So every 3 to 6 months, you really need to be switching these out. Now the thicker ones are going to run you, a little over $30. But let's think about that for a second. It's going to help your system to run efficiently, and it's gonna keep a lot of those pollens and allergens and stuff out of your home, okay? So this one's at the higher end, worth every penny. Every 3 to 4 months really would be best. What I would suggest doing is writing the date that you put it in on the side of the box before you slide it into the unit, and then put a reminder on your phone. Go ahead and set that on your phone to remind you, hey, it's time to change that air filter. Otherwise, who thinks about that, right? Now we have our filter, let's go put it back in at the house. Okay, so now that we've been to the hardware store, we have found the air filters that we would prefer. We're gonna go ahead and put this sucker in. Now, in this case, we're gonna go ahead and use the 4-inch. I think that's gonna be better for this family. But the thing we wanna look for is this little arrow on the side is gonna say airflow. We wanna make sure that we're putting that in. The arrow should be facing the whole size of the unit. That's gonna pull the air this direction. And we're just gonna slide this. Now this one gives you options for both, which is nice. Slide that guy in right there. Make sure it goes all the way through and that the door is gonna latch. Okay, and that is how we change an air filter. Join us next time on Tool Time with Texas Tiff. Yeah, so it's in construction, right? So we can have one of them come back and do it. Come on.